I call the next one Bach, Bach. B-A-C-H-H-C-A-B. You'll see why in just a minute. At the height of my music career, at the time when my two-act opera, Dreyfus, was being produced in Germany and in Austria, auf Deutsch, I felt suddenly called to become a rabbi. And as much as I tried, I could not shake this monumentally inconvenient idea out of my head. So after a long while of wrestling with myself, I finally went to talk to a dean of a New York rabbinical school. Now, the dean was an old friend of mine. We had prayed together for a number of years in a Jewish fellowship group. And when I told him that I was considering the possibility of studying to become a rabbi myself, he didn't seem surprised. He just said, "Listen, Moshe, you know Hebrew. I'm teaching an introductory rabbinics course next semester. Why don't you just enroll in my class and we'll see what happens?" So I enrolled in his class and waited for the next semester to come around. By chance, sheer coincidence, and we'll talk more about coincidence later this afternoon, his class was held on Mondays. And Monday was my free day at the music conservatory. I didn't teach on Mondays. So I looked forward to the class, and I waited for the first week of class to come around. Now, in those days, it was my daily habit, and now that I'm an ordained rabbi, it is still my daily habit to play a Bach prelude and fugue. I call it my daily vitamin B. There are 48 preludes and fugues in the 2 volumes of the Bach Well-Tempered Clavier, and I run through all of them in the course of a season. I don't remember which one it was that particular morning, the morning of my first rabbinics class, but I do recall I was running late. I hurriedly played through my daily Bach prelude and fugue, grabbed my coat, ran out of the apartment, and raced across town to that first class. I was late. By the time I got there, all the students were seated around this enormous circular conference table with the rabbi at the head, and he had just finished handing out large sheets of Talmudic text. So I quietly slipped into the one empty seat, and I picked up this large sheet of Talmudic text, and my mouth dropped open, because there at the top, in bold Hebrew letters, was the heading, Beit Chet, the 2 Hebrew letters that spell out Bach. I didn't know it until that very hour, but Bach, the Jewish Bach, was one of the greatest of Talmudic commentators. He lived in 17th century Poland, and his real name was Yoel Sirkus, but in rabbinic circles, he's known by the abbreviation of his most often studied rabbinic commentary, Bayit Chadash, Hebrew for new house or new interpretation, and the initials are Beit Chet, Bach. When I first encountered this Talmudic Bach, that first morning in rabbinical school, I realized that all that I had succeeded in doing in wrestling with myself the previous year was to switch from studying musical Bach, written from left to right, to studying rabbinical Bach, which is written from right to left. What became clear to me in that moment is that for all of us, life is a circle. And whether you travel that circle, your journey through life, from left to right, or from right to left, in the end you're going to wind up right back where you started. Because all the roads to self-discovery in this life can only lead you back to yourself. So there are 48 ways of illustrating this point musically, and my original thought was I would play Chronicles 48 times, and when I got through all the Bach preludes and fugues, I would retire the program. But this is now performance number 72. So what happened? What happened is I got stuck on fugue number 21 in B flat, and I've been there ever since. So here it is.